Hi, this is one of the ways how we do the roasting of the lamb. So we're gonna call it Bosnian roast lamb. What we see over here is lamb from Chile that it's somewhere about 25 pounds. So it's not too big, not too small. Usually this size they get really tasty. When you buy a lamb, you're gonna see that they are actually cut over here in the front. So to keep all the moisture and everything else, what we use is 2 pieces of wire to close that, and everything will be fine. You can see that we have a stainless steel rod that we drill a couple of holes over here, and later on you're gonna see that we have again stainless steel few little clamps just to secure so it doesn't really turn around. When we bought a lamb, of course, we did put just the salt, just a lot of salt inside. We close the pieces of wire over here, and then these are the front legs. They come like right here. So what you do, you cut off that front leg so they are not really flopping upside down like a butterfly when you do the roll. And we put a lot of salt on it, and in a minute we're gonna show you how we can use this to actually close the stomach. Stay tuned and we'll give you a step-by-step how to put it together. Alright, we are back over here. We can show you what we did with our lamb and how we're going to secure it. Like I already said, we have a stainless steel rod with a couple of holes over here. So we have a U-bolt that we tighten the things around the neck, and a one in the middle of the back. So when you see it over here, this is how they look like. So it doesn't really spin around because it's a stainless steel. We did put plenty of salt. We need to do a little more in the back so you can see how much actually. You can definitely put a lot of salt on it because all the fat will kind of run the salt out. So there is no problem if you put a little extra and just give them a nice massage. Now, of course, like we already said, the first part over here of the chest we use the wire because the butcher actually cut it down to open it. But then the bottom part over here, after we put so much salt and everything is good over here, we use this front leg and we cut it off 2 little slots over here on the both end. So now we're going to do the stomach over here. So what we do is we take and make the hole right here, something that you can put like a 2 or 3 fingers through it, and the same thing on the opposite side, right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our part, we're going to take this and put it through it like this, and then we're going to take our leg and hold it right here, make sure that it sits in that slot. So that way the part is closed and all the moisture will stay inside. Of course the salt will run out and everything going to be good. In this case we have a couple of holes over here, depend how big is a lamb. Sometimes they are longer, sometimes they are shorter. So what we did, we just used a regular piece of steel wire and secure it over there. The U-bolts will help us so it doesn't turn around and everything will be good. So now we're gonna take a break and go prepare the fire and show you how to cook this little baby and make it all nice and tasty. Alright, so now we are over here trying to make a fire. Most of you may be confused how we use a stainless steel pipe and a stainless steel V-joint and all this stuff, so it looks like there's a lot of hardware to prepare before you actually cook the meal. Well, I grew up actually making it on a wooden stick. So what you do is, if you're in America, you can go and just go buy the wooden stick, whatever you want, make a little point, put it all together. The reason why traditionally people used to do it on a wooden stick, because you don't have to worry about the clamps trying to hold it together, not to spin around and all that stuff. When you're using it just a regular wire around the wooden stick, it doesn't really turn around and it makes it all nice and tight. So everything is good. So if you don't have a chance to buy a stainless steel rod and the U-bolts and all that stuff, just use a wooden stick and take a wire to put it around the neck, same thing around the back, and tighten the legs the way it is. But we are doing it with the stainless steel. So what we did over here is, you can see that we use royal oak hardware charcoal. The way how that looks like is a very, very light, It's very, very light. So the reason why we are using this, because it gives you a nice constant heat all the time. It doesn't go up and down and all this stuff. So what we did, like you can see it over here, we took one of the 55-gallon drum barrels, so you can put it whatever you want on the concrete, take it with you on a barbecue place and whatever you want. So we made a fire like this, tried to get the charcoal going, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to spread this charcoal very long. Now you notice that most of the meat is on the front where the chests are and on the back. So what we're going to do, we're going to concentrate most of the heat on the front and on the back. You don't really need a lot on the middle at all. Probably nothing at all. Maybe after halfway through, which is 2 hours, the whole thing together to cook. Maybe after an hour cooking, you start putting some in the middle. But so far, we're going to do it right here, like this. Alright, so now we are back. Our fire is really nice. Like I said, we are putting it under the shoulders and under the back legs. You can see the reason why we put the stainless steel rod. It's nice and clean, and we can tighten it with the U-bolts, and all the way over here in the back, we're actually testing today tiny little motor where we're gonna kind of fix it later on, but you can just spin it by hand. Like you see, the fire is already starting to kind of warming it up. You don't want to make a lot of fire right away because you want the meat to be warm before you start putting it on. Usually what I do is, with the small fire that I started, I'm going to make that fire not to be exactly under. Put a little bit on one or another side. So what I'm doing right now, while this charcoal is giving me a nice and heat, I can keep adding it from one side, a little more every once in a while. Of course, you don't want to put it too much at once. So continuous heat for maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, and everything will be good and nice and tasty. Alright, now you guys can see how does it look like after 1 hour of cooking. You can see that the color is all nice and brown, kind of light chocolate brown. You don't really see anywhere there is burn or changing too much of the color. And you can see that now we can actually start making a fire all the way around. You can see that the middle piece get the same amount of heat, and it's cooked kind of evenly, even we didn't really have it that much fire under. So now we just kind of enjoy with hot fire and plenty of charcoals for probably another hour, and we'll be enjoying it.